It is a general assumption that upstate New York has fewer deaths caused by prevented diseases than New York State as a whole. In Cooperstown, New York, a small rural community in upstate New York with a population of 1,834 per the New York State Prevention Act of 2009, that assumption would be incorrect. The three main causes of death in Cooperstown, New York are heart disease, lung and bronchus cancer, and chronic lower respiratory disease. The mortality rate for heart disease in 2006 per 100,000 of the population was 249.5. The 2006 mortality rate of heart disease for New York State as a whole was 261.1 per 100,000, according to the New York State Prevention Act of 2009. Everyone here is very active. They run, bike, swim in the summer, and ski, snowshoe, and use the large community rec center in the winter, states Wendy Miller, a local Cooperstown citizen. No matter what the weather is, people make it a point to be outside. This higher activity level helps to control heart disease, which is why it is less prevalent in the rest of New York than in Cooperstown and the rest of New York State, according to the CDC. Now, lung and bronchus cancer. The mortality rate of total lung cancer cases in Cooperstown, New York was 52.7 per 100,000 of the population, compared to 47.5 for New York State. This is all according to the New York State Prevention Act of 2009. Smoking is a primary factor for approximately 30% of all lung cancer deaths in Cooperstown, according to the New York State Prevention Act of 2009. Now, chronic lower respiratory disease in 2006, the mortality rate was 67.2 per 100,000 in Cooperstown, which is significantly higher than the rest of New York State, which was 32.6 of the total population, according to New York State Prevention Act of 2009. Now, 20.8% of Cooperstown residents smoke, while only 16.5% of New York State smoke, according to the CDC. So in conclusion, the three major causes of death in Cooperstown, New York are heart disease, lung cancer, and chronic lower respiratory disease. Here I have created a bar graph, which you can see shows the causes of death in Cooperstown, and these are all according to the New York State Prevention Act of 2009. Cooperstown is in the red, while New York State is in the blue. This bar graph I thought was the best way to visualize how much higher heart disease deaths are compared to lung cancer and chronic lower respiratory disease. You can see that New York State has a little bit higher of a death rate than Cooperstown for heart disease, but lung cancer and chronic lower respiratory disease is higher in Cooperstown than the rest of New York. You can also see that in Cooperstown, chronic lower respiratory disease is significantly higher than in the rest of New York State. So we've now come to the question and answer portion. Are there any questions?
Is lung and bronchus cancer higher for men or women?
Lung and bronchus cancer is higher for men, actually. According to the New York State Cancer Registry, the 2002 to 2006 mortality rate of lung and bronchus cancer in Cooperstown was significantly higher for men at 75.8 than for women at 44.8, also according to the New York State Prevention Act of 2009.
Is heart disease preventable?
Heart disease is unfortunately not preventable because you can be genetically predisposed to it, but there are many ways to control it. According to the CDC, in 2012, 200,000 deaths related to heart disease could have been prevented through changes in your health habits. Some of these health habits include stopping smoking, most importantly, more physical activity, less salt in your diet. You can also make community changes by creating healthier living spaces, have safe places to exercise outdoors, and have smoke-free areas. If you have a community drive to manage your blood pressure, your cholesterol, and your diabetes, these also can lead to less heart disease, according to the CDC.
Are the allergens that cause chronic lower respiratory disease related to industrial allergens or natural allergens?
Aeroallergens are actually the most common cause of chronic lower respiratory disease in Cooperstown because these are allergens that are found in the air, and there are many aeroallergens in the barnyards, dairy farms, cattle raising in Cooperstown, which create more allergens according to Campbell's study in 1989. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you.